Hi everybody, my name is Rhys Barber. I'm one of the audiologists here at Audiology Associates.
And my name is Taylor Green, and I am the other audiologist here. And happy
Waxvent!
Yes! Or Waxvent. Oh, I keep saying Waxmas.
Welcome to day one, hence the headgear. Look at this. Got a full activity moment going on there. Yes, so hence the headgear. This is our little special treat for you guys. I won't talk too much. Just to say we give you a Waxvent calendar to count you down to Christmas. Get an extra one on Christmas Day as well. I won't say anything else. I'll leave this to Taylor Green.
Don't leave it all to me.
Right, you can
chip in as well. No, this is, I think this is just one ear. So it's quite a long one, guys. And it's a very, very tricky one as well. This particular patient was actually a young lady that came in to see myself. Has had wax removed before, but had a bit of a rough experience with it, really. Bit of discomfort, was finding it quite painful, so understandably was, hesitant about having it done again. So there was a little bit of history on top of this as well. So this particular patient, without going into too much detail, has previously had grommets fitted. I believe the lady said it was about 5 years ago that these grommets were fitted. So hadn't really said at this point, hadn't mentioned whether the grommet had come out, had been removed, or whether it was still there. Very, very unlikely for it to be still present in the eardrum.
That would have been unusual.
Would have been highly unusual. Is it about 12 to 18 months?
Usually 12.
12 to 18 months.
12 months by the average.
Yeah, so if it's your first time watching and you've never seen anything related to the ears, so if you're not quite sure what we mean by a grommet, a grommet is a very, very tiny little, almost like a little plastic tube that is inserted via a mini operation. It's inserted into the eardrum, and that helps to relieve the middle ear of any pressure or fluid, usually to do with glue ear, which is a buildup of sticky fluid that kind of forces pressure on the eardrum. And if it's not clearing itself, this is what the tube is for, to clear it up. But you can see there's a little bit of something white in there. Now we're in the middle of the ear canal here, so I already knew this kind of wasn't like a bone or anything like that. So yeah, this is actually the grommet. Now that kind of tells you how long it's been since this lady has had wax removed from the ears. Would have been well over 5 years ago.
Look at that. So that's sitting right in the middle of the ear canal. They're embedded in just like a whole bunch of wax.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a very tricky one to do as well. Not just purely because the lady was a bit conscious about having it done, but just purely how sticky you can see this wax is. And I've had to use the fine end for most of this as well. I'm just trying to get this grommet out first. So I'm just trying to get a good grip here, or move it around so I can get some leverage behind this grommet.
They're difficult to get a grip on just because they're very rounded top and bottom. They've got a hole running through the middle. So suction doesn't tend to work too well with grommets unless you can catch it bang on the sort of leading lip of the one side.
Yeah.
So this is where you've gone in with the jobs in there.
You can see how kind of tight the lady's ear canal is as well. You're probably saying, why didn't I use like a Rosen inserter to get in the middle of there? The problem is with the Rosen inserters that we have in clinic, they are very flexible. And I wouldn't be able to hold the ear canal open with it. So I could have done it with the camera, but I was getting a good enough grip with the Jobson horn anyway, so it was doing the job.
Look at that, out that comes. You do show the grommet, I think, at the end, and just to get a better idea how big we're talking here, this thing is.
Yeah, do clean it up a little bit, just give it a bit of a wipe.
So this canal is still completely, these are always difficult ones to do because the canal wall itself is covered. So you can't see where ear canal wall ends and wax begins a lot of these, can you? It's such a difficult one to do.
And again, I've still got the fine end on here as well. I can't actually remember, I do apologise, I can't remember if I do switch up to the standard size tube at any point.
Depends how much room is in there, doesn't it? And because the thing is, if you've got a very narrow, that's a nice peel.
Yeah.
That's a nice peel. If you got if you've got a very narrow canal and you're blocking it all up with the standard size ulnar tube, you're not going to be able to see beyond it, which makes it a little bit more difficult, doesn't it, to take away?
Yeah. So we do actually manage to make a relatively good job of this, to be fair.
Yeah.
Without
This just looks messy at the moment.
Without tooting my own horn.
No, you did do. I remember when I edited this one, and I was thinking, well, fair play. That got it a lot cleaner than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, you can see it's starting to come away quite nicely. Now, I kind of hate doing these sticky ones, to be completely honest, because they can sometimes take ages.
Especially with a fine end, because it blocks so much, doesn't it, while you're doing it?
Yeah. And just due to the patient's history, I didn't want to risk going in with irrigation either, because I didn't know what was behind the wax. I didn't know if that eardrum was still perforated, or I didn't know if there was a weakness there already. If we do use irrigation, we always use the lowest pressure anyway. We never use anything lower than we never use anything higher than the lowest pressure, is what I meant to say.
And this is where, I know we've banged this drum a lot, and I know Neil's doing the same thing as well at the moment, just talking about people qualifying for wax removal without any prior understanding of ear anatomy or any experience with ears beforehand. We're thinking, we see a grommet. First of all, would that person, if they're not, if they've not got any kind of ear background, would they know what that was, first of all? And secondly, we know what that means, what's happened to that patient before they've come along to our appointment. So we are being a little bit more cautious about what we'll do when we're in the ears, how we'll approach things, and that's because we've got understanding of ear problems, disorders, and issues like that. And people who don't have that background would have a very, very limited understanding of what that meant. So it's quite a difficult position that a lot of patients. So I had somebody come in the other day and they were saying, well, I thought everybody had to have a medical background to be able to do this. So general public don't realise that the person they're saying could never have looked in ears before their course they attended, or never had any experience of ears before that. And this is a really invasive procedure, isn't it? We're right down on top of the eardrum, you're here. You've got to be so super duper cautious at that point, haven't you? Yeah, it's quite scary.
Very much so. We are right up against the eardrum here. So that, little bit of sort of well, I call it white at the moment, little patches you can see on the side there. That's the eardrum starting to become visible here now. So we are almost there. I got quite lucky with this one, to be completely honest, because I was kind of in two minds whether I may have had to get the patient back after a little bit of treatment to try and just loosen this up off the ear canal, because again we're having to try and fight around that little bend, the second bend in the ear there. So this is like the bony portion of the ear canal, which again, by itself, fair play, the patient was an absolute trooper. She sat through it all, didn't move, was perfect.
Difficult when you're cleaning down these recess areas, isn't it? It's such a difficult one. It's a lot of the time so tucked in there, and it's super super wet and super sticky.
Yeah. Again, I'm literally just waiting for something to happen where I'm going, oh yeah, here we go.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah, so there we go. So you can see how almost clean the ear canal is underneath that. Yeah. So this is obviously, not obviously, but I'm kind of thinking at this point, oh, actually, this might, if I can get a good grip on and start peeling this away, we might be lucky here. We might be able to get this all away. Not so much in one go, but
a little bit of resistance as you were getting hold of that as well.
I think there's a good eardrum peel on this. You can kind of see already where the eardrum is. There's it'll be your bottom left. So that, I think it's the bottom, bottom left. So that is just a layer of skin, which we're going to peel away soon.
So you're just going to hover over this now, try and pull it into that suction tube.
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid the ear canal, but I'm trying to get this bit that's kind of re-wedged in front of the eardrum. Now this patient's been having issues with their hearing for a long time, bless her. Plucked up the courage to come and see us, and left the clinic so much happier.
Good. That's always nice. That's always a nice part of the job when everyone goes away feeling a lot happier with their hearing. especially coming up to Christmas time as well, because it's always really important when we look at our ears and our hearing. For those kind of events, do you know what I mean?
Oh, very tricky angle here now. This is right on the roof of the ear canal, so I'm almost having to try and sort of turn the suction tube, so I'm almost kind of angling upwards here. Really tricky angles, and I mean, I didn't, I don't think, but I could have got the patient to tilt their head a little bit, but I was too invested in what I was doing to even say.
Sometimes when you've got that patient, you've got him in that specific position, you kind of got the hang of where I need to position my fingers and stuff like that to be able to get the tube in properly. And
watch this now, it's coming up soon, I know it is.
So we got
you'll just see it kind of jump up.
Oh, there we go. There's all come out the recess.
Watch this now. I thought, oh, I'm just going to touch up against this little bit at the bottom. Oh, you can see a little bit of movement there in the corner. Very, very gently. Again,
oh, look at that, look at that.
Oh,
look at that.
Here it comes.
That is going well there. Is it all going to peel?
I don't think it does it all in one go. I think I go back in a second time to clear the rest of it. But that's one really thick sort of piece there. Look at that coming away.
That is nice. That's nice.
Patient's already hearing so much better at this point, but
look at the colour of the eardrum underneath though.
Yeah.
Look how fresh that skin is underneath compared to what you can see at the surface here.
Yeah. You could see the difference. Watch how clean the eardrum is kind of looking. There is little patches in the ear canal on this one, guys. I do apologise. I didn't fully clean this one out, but look at this coming away here now. So this is going to be the last. Ooh, really, really slow.
You've got to be so careful there, haven't you? That's the thing.
Oh, there
look at that go.
Look how clean that eardrum is underneath that.
That is amazing. Is this coming away as well?
Yeah.
Oh, is it going to go? Yep, that's going.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh, I was a little bit dubious about getting that little bit that's in the centre there, because that's literally where the malleus is. That's where the bone's in the ear. I didn't want to understand you put the patient under any pressure, but that's how small a grommet is. Like, that's on the palm of my hand. That's tiny.
That is dirty. That is really small, isn't it? My goodness me, that was a tough one. That was a good one to kick off Waxvent with.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nick. That was such a tough one to do.
That's me done for the rest of the holidays.
Might drop them out. So guys, don't forget, you are the beginning of Waxvent, which means you lucky folks get new videos every single day, right up to and including Christmas Day from myself and lovely Miss Taylor Green. We've just realised that episode 900 falls smack in the middle of Waxvent as well, so we're going to have to have a little think about what we're going to do for episode 900 as well.
I think one of our previous big rounded off figures landed in the middle
I think
of
it did,
as well,
yeah,
actually,
I think it did. Yeah, that's
year,
true,
maybe.
that's true. So we'll try and do something a bit more special for 900 as well, guys. But as always, take care of yourselves.
Take care of your ears.
And take care of one another. And we shall both see you tomorrow. Bye, everyone.
See you tomorrow.